What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about Aurora Cannabis, and I'm going to be answering the question whether I think you should buy Aurora Cannabis on this dip. We're going to be looking at charts, we're going to be looking at technical analysis. Also, we're going to be looking at the latest news of Aurora Cannabis partnering with N-Wave and what that means for this company. But before we get this video started, oh my god. But before we get this video started, let me know what you guys are expecting from Aurora Cannabis in these upcoming earnings, which I will be doing the live stream tomorrow when the markets close, and I'll be doing the earnings lives in the morning on May 15th. So before we get this video started, don't forget, give me a thumbs up, hit that notification bell, smash that subscribe button, and let's get this video started. So we're going to be looking at Aurora Cannabis in both American and Canadian dollars. First, we're going to start off with Aurora Cannabis in Canadian, and then we're going to look at them in American. So before we know whether we should buy the dip, we should first try to figure out how low is this dip going to go. So right now we have Aurora Cannabis sitting right around this support line. I've drawn this support line way in the past because previously it was acting as a resistance here, and then if we go back in time even more, it was acting as a resistance right here as well. Now this previous resistance line could possibly start acting as a support, which is what's happening here right now. As we can see from these charts, Aurora Cannabis is currently downtrending and we're literally sitting right on the support line. We're going to zoom in a little more. Also, I do want to mention that right here around March, we had a huge gap up. We had a support here, it would not break past the support, and then all of a sudden we had a gap up, and it looks like now we have officially filled that gap. And I've talked about gaps many times. It doesn't matter how long, but eventually gaps do get filled. So whether Aurora bounces back up, that'll be great, because at least that means this gap no longer needs to be filled in the future. So this gap is now filled. Aurora Cannabis is currently downtrending. So before we consider how low this dip is going to go, we got to look at potentially how low Aurora Cannabis is going to go. So I do think that we do have another support here at around $9. So I'm going to draw a line here at $9. If it does break below this $10.70 support line, it looks like I have this line at around $10.70. If it breaks below that, I do expect the next support to be $9 for Aurora. Because if you see right here, this $9 support line previously was acting as a resistance. Right here, hit the resistance line 1, 2, 3 times. So this could possibly be the next support line. So we're going to see how low Aurora can possibly go. Another thing we need to take into consideration is earnings are coming up, which I will be talking about later on in the video. So we're going to take another closer look at Aurora Cannabis right here. We literally hit the support line and bounced up immediately. We are currently downtrending, so we're going to see if we continue to dip below it. If we break below the support line, I'll continue to be concerned. I've spoke about it in a few videos in the past. I won't be concerned until Aurora breaks below this uptrending support. So it did that, and then once it breaks below that uptrending support, I'll be more concerned once it breaks below this support. So it looks like it's about to do both. We're literally treading above this support. Another thing that might potentially bring Aurora Cannabis even lower is and I've spoke about this in previous videos, is we have the 50-day moving average and the Bollinger Bands. I hope I said that right this time. So the 50-day moving average, if you zoom in here, has officially crossed with the middle Bollinger Band right here, as you can see. So we crossed, and I've spoke about this before, because usually when these bands cross right here, the 50-day moving average crossed with the middle Bollinger Band and it had an uptrend. Now we're crossing again, and usually what happens when we're up high, we have a downtrend, because right here we were nice and high. The Bollinger Bands crossed with the 50-day moving average, and what happened? We had a correction. Crossed here, we had a nice run. So it looks like we officially crossed the middle one right here. It does look like we are going to be moving in the downward direction. We're already starting to downtrend. On top of that, it's not just Aurora Cannabis. The whole market is down right now. We have the S&P 500 down, Dow 30 down, NASDAQ is down, Russell 2000 is down, crude oil is down, gold and cryptocurrencies seem to be doing good right now. I'm actually going to take a quick look at crypto. My crypto wallet seems to be doing really good. Bitcoin is up 13.27% today. Litecoin is up 7.78% today. So crypto seems to be doing well while the markets are falling down. And if we look at the rest of the sector, Aurora Aphria, Canopy, Hexo, Tilray, Apple, Tesla, they all seem to be down more than 5%. The markets are falling big right now. So I did say I was also going to talk about the American charts, because we took a look at Aurora Cannabis in Canadian dollars. Now we're going to take a look at them in American dollars. Let's take a look at the 3-month charts. I'm going to pretty much repeat the same thing, just give you the numbers in American dollars instead. We're currently downtrending, same pattern, same thing. We do have a support at around $8.10. Actually, this should be $8. So we have a support here at around $8, and it's the same thing. We broke below the support, immediately got rejected, and we seem to be trading in between this support line right now. We're breaking above it, we're breaking below it. I'm going to be keeping an eye out on it. We should all watch to see whether Aurora breaks below the support. Unfortunately, I do believe that if Aurora, and it's very likely to happen, announces very disappointing earnings, Aurora Cannabis will break below the support and continue downtrending even further. Now, if it continues to break even further, I do think there will be a great buying opportunity if it hits this $7 support line right here, and then we'll go down even lower. And then this red line right here, which is at $6, I think that would be a very strong buy. It's not guaranteed to go that low, but I do think the closer it gets to the $7, I do think that's a buy. And the closer it gets to this red line, that's a strong buy. And then anything below this red line, I'm going all in. That's me personally. But let's also keep in mind that there's always risk involved into investing into a company like Aurora Cannabis. This is still a speculation stock. This is still a industry with a lot of risk, and an industry that has a lot of if, ands, or buts. Like, let's say if cannabis becomes legal in the United States, I think that would help companies like Aurora Cannabis, because that's another market that they could tap into. If cannabis becomes legal worldwide, that would help the cannabis industry, because that would give cannabis the potential to grow as big as the alcoholic industry, because alcohol is legal almost worldwide. So all this depends on earnings, and so far we've had a bunch of bad articles talking about Aurora Cannabis, how they're going to announce disappointing earnings. But I did find one article which was talking about why Aurora Cannabis might surprise this earnings season. So investors are always looking for stocks that are poised to beat at earnings season, and Aurora Cannabis may be one such company. The firm has earnings coming up pretty soon, and events are shaping up quite nicely for their report. That is because Aurora Cannabis is seeing favorable earnings estimate revision activity as of late, which is generally a precursor to an earnings beat. After all, analysts raising estimates right before earnings with the most up-to-date information possible is a pretty good indicator of some favorable trends underneath the surface of Aurora Cannabis in this report. So in fact, the most accurate estimate for the current quarter is presently higher than the broader Zacks consensus estimate, suggesting that analysts have very recently bumped up their estimates for Aurora Cannabis, giving the stock a Zacks earning ESP of about 17.5% heading into earnings season. So the real question is, should you buy Aurora Cannabis on this dip? Right now, Aurora Cannabis is down 4.25%. It looks very tempting. I'm not going to lie. It looks very tempting, but I do think it still has potential to continue to move down even more, especially if they announce disappointing earnings. If you think Aurora Cannabis will release amazing earnings, then I can't tell you what to do. At the end of the day, this is only for educational and entertainment purposes, so always make sure to do your own due diligence and do your own homework, and make sure you know what you're investing in. So if you decide to start, I personally, if I had to buy now, if I was confident in earnings, I would start a small position now and then be ready to, and I would prepare myself to average down. So I would have cash set aside, prepared to average down to see if it goes even lower, because it's never guaranteed that it's going to hit the support line and bounce back up. It has a lot of potential to hit the support line and continue declining. So now we're going to move on to some more Aurora news, and this seems to be some positive news. This partnership with N-Wave means great things for Aurora Cannabis. So a couple weeks ago, I covered the odor problems Edmonton-based Aurora Cannabis was having at its Aurora Sky Grow Op near the city's airport. You wouldn't think this kind of issue would be good for Aurora stock, but that's precisely what I argued. So on April 26, Aurora announced that it had entered into a royalty-bearing commercial license agreement with Vancouver-based N-Wave Corporation, a provider of radiant energy vacuum technology for the dehydration of organic materials. Under the term of agreement, Aurora gains the exclusive rights to the patented REV drying technology for use in the production of cannabis in the European Union, excluding Portugal. It's also gained exclusivity in Australia and South America, excluding Peru, and non-exclusive use in Canada. As a part of this agreement, Aurora is buying 2 of Enwave's 120 kilowatt REV dehydration systems for both its Aurora Sky and Aurora Sun facilities, with plans to purchase a 3rd unit for its Aurora Nordic facility in Denmark. According to Aurora's press release, Enwave's REV technology will allow it to rapidly dry the cannabis at a low temperature, effectively maintaining the flavor profiles and other attributes, something that can't be done with freeze drying or air drying. Considering a flavor is a crucial component of marijuana's user experience, being able to retain this through the drying process is an essential step in capturing market share. Aurora and Enwave will work together to jointly benefit from REV technologies making its way through the cannabis industry. So I'm just going to take a quick look at Enwave. Enwave, which is ticker symbol ENW, and they're currently down 1.75%. I just want to look at their charts real quick, and they did seem to have a very nice run in May. They went up all the way from $1.90 to $2.50, had a nice pullback in the last couple days, which doesn't surprise me. Currently with a market cap of 234 million, price to revenue of 8.9, price to sales of 10.28. So it's looking pretty good for Enwave. So this seems to be like some positive news for Aurora Cannabis, but unfortunately this has not affected their stock at all. I think investors are being very cautious, especially because earnings are coming up, which will be tomorrow at 4 p.m. So I'll be live streaming tomorrow. I'll be live streaming earnings tomorrow, and I will also be live streaming the earnings call on May 15th, which will be at around 10 a.m. but I'll probably be live streaming from 9 a.m. all through 10 a.m. So I'll catch you guys on my live stream tomorrow. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Leave me some comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. That's it for now, guys. Bye-bye.